My name is Ilana van der Westhuizen. I am an ME Cloud consultant within the FP&A department at Decision Inc. And today we're going to talk to Martine Burgess from SA Taxi regarding the Workday Adaptive solution that we implemented for them.
Thanks, Ilana. It's so good to be back here. See you guys all again. It's been a while. I am Martine Burgess. I'm the commercial executive at SA Taxi. Prior to that, I headed up the FP&A and treasury space, which is why I got involved in this project.
So Martine, why don't you just talk about the pain points that you've experienced in terms of your old way of doing things, and then we can talk about the solution that we implemented for you.
Okay, great. I think let me give some background to the company and to SA Taxi. It will just lead into why we needed a different way of doing things. SA Taxi is a very unique company. It's very diverse. We were the first financial institution to actually focus purely on the taxi industry. It started as offering finance, so we did things very differently. We gave opportunity to taxi operators to finance their vehicles where they wouldn't have previously been able to get traditional finance. And from there, it just evolved. So it's now, 12 years later, become a fully integrated business across this whole spectrum of the taxi industry. And what that means is we offer finance, but we also offer insurance. We do tracking. We have rewards programs through, fuel and tires and things like that. We've then expanded into refurbishing the vehicles. So there's a whole life cycle. You do the originations. Some of them will be returned via claims or repossessions. But what we found in this space is in order to be able to provide finance differently and insurance premiums that are reasonable for the SME to afford, you need to be involved in all different parts of the chain. So what we do now is we actually import and source all of our own parts. So we've got a big CDC warehouse. We've got panel and mechanical refurbishment centers where we fix 400-500 vehicles every month for resale. So it's really grown and evolved over the years. And why that's important is because this business needed some solution that could model all these different kinds of businesses that are completely different. In a lot of other traditional companies, your focus is kind of more maybe single stream or just not as diverse. So we needed something that could handle the complexities of a finance business and provisioning and cash collections and things like that, but then also have the ability to bring in a lot of historical data for simple things like a panel shop, where it's more of a cost of sales kind of business. So like any company, we were on Excel, and I love Excel, nothing against it. I still use it every day. But it was just getting out of control. And basically we had all these different models across the business that weren't aligning, so everybody would have different assumptions, and that alone caused a lot of problems. They were also getting too large to handle. Yeah. So within our finance business, there's also a very complicated legal structure. So there's about 10 different entities. So that needed to be taken into account. And again, our Excel just wasn't coping with the complexity amongst so many different companies and types of modeling.
So you're talking about it being it's obviously very interlinked and interdependent in terms of the data that is needed for your planning. And I can understand with Excel it can get quite complex. So we actually took SA Taxi to the cloud, where we implemented a cloud-based solution for them using Workday Adaptive as the platform. And we've streamlined that process where models were in your old way of doing things, your Excel budgeting files per division were very interlinked. For instance, where originations volumes was needed within other departments, and it was very key man dependent, and I'm sure version control was quite an issue as well. So with the Workday Adaptive solution that we implemented, we've actually streamlined that process where models are dependent on other models' data. It's now an automated process where it's no longer key man dependent. The one person can input their budget numbers, and that automatically feeds into the other models that needs it. So that eliminates, I think, that very complex way of doing planning in terms of the different departments that you have.
Yeah, you're very right. And actually, once you in this new world, you actually forget some of the the things you take for granted now. The data imports that you spoke about, it wasn't even intentionally part of this project, but and that's what Decision Inc. and Adaptive brought to the party, is that they would look at our own systems and analyze all the different mechanisms and how they could bring all the same data from different sources across the business into one place.
So just talking about your reports and the different view and all of that, it also places or gives places that responsibility with, like you say, the business owner. I mean, they can build ad hoc reports in the views that they want. And what's nice is it's very dynamic in the sense that with Excel, it could be like you have to have like 7 different reports giving you the same thing, but you know, it's the period that you're viewing that's different, or the version that you're viewing that's different. With Workday Adaptive, it actually gives you that dynamic way of viewing your reports. We can have one report, but with version filters or period filters, you don't have to have like 7 different reports giving you the same look and feel of something, except for the data that's different. So it gives you that flexibility as well in terms of reporting. And if you're a visual person, making use of the dashboard functionality as well. You can build pretty little dashboards if you're a visual person.
Definitely.
Yeah. So how did you find the engagement with Decision Inc. through the implementation process? Because it was quite a long project that we implemented. So how did you find the engagement with Decision Inc.?
What we felt with Decision Inc., it was a lot more of a personal touch. And we just got on very well. Also, what happened is you offered a blueprint phase, but even before signing anything or any commitments were made, and that was such a nice touch, and it was so beneficial because it didn't take too much time. The time taken to just assess the business, to actually give us an idea of how the tool would work and help, it really gave us, you know, a good feeling, and really what helped make the decision to go with you guys. One other thing to add, what's also been nice to see, and definitely a success, is that the rest of the group has actually adopted it. Yes. So SA Taxi is part of Transaction Capital, which is a listed company. And within that, Transaction Capital has been working with you, as well as We Buy Cars. Yes. And TCRS, I think, as well. So that just proves that it has benefits for the group. The group has seen it, especially at the head office where it's all consolidated. So good luck. I hope that goes well.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm sure we'll work together soon.
Right. Thank you so much. If you'd like to find out more about Decision Inc. and how we can transform your life and the solutions that we offer, you can go to www.decisioninc.com.
If you'd like to find out more about SA Taxi and how we can help create your SME business, go to www.sataxi.co.za.